Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Is It Kino, your favorite movie review podcast. I'm your host, Mumkey Johnson, joined as always by Mr. Floridian Heimdall.
I'm Rich McCoy. Hello, everyone.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I read your name wrong on the teleprompter. This is Rich McCoy.
Well, at least I don't have to be McSoy this time. Oh, man.
No, not until 2020. Rich McCoy, while you're here real quick, we are going to talk about this movie, The Mouse with the Cock and Its Balls. But first, since we have you, the authentic, real Rich, I wanted to ask you a question. What are your views on Donald Trump?
He's just the worst, the most racist, evil person in the entire world.
Oh.
I don't know why you bring this up now. I thought this was common knowledge.
Yeah, I was hoping you would say... I was hoping you'd pull a Last Jedi and subvert our expectations.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna die, and then we're gonna get the vice president that's even worse. That's what will happen, yeah.
Yeah, is Mike Pence the Kylo Ren of the actual universe?
Oh my god, yes, it is. But who's Ray? Who can stop him? She's
Hillary
the only one that
Clinton
can stop him.
has to be Ray. That's why Rich likes the character so much.
No, she's Leela. Oh, Leia? Yeah,
Oh,
Leia.
because she's an old bitch.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe Ivanka Trump can be Ray.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay, we
Wow.
figured it all out. Florian, what did you think of Jack Black's new hit family film, The House with a Cock in Its Balls?
I think it was quite alright. I guess I kind of like Jack Black, but I don't like his style of humor very much. So whenever he's in something where he's not completely a clown, that's always a step up. Like that King Kong movie I really liked because he was being serious in that one. And so I liked him in it, and it's a cool story. The kid learning magic. It's more interesting than Harry Potter to me in a way, but then again, it's all right. How about you?
Yeah, in terms of Jack Black, I have been a pretty big Jack Black fan ever since I think the first thing I saw with him was School of Rock, because I would have been, of that age when it came out. And then I later discovered his more adult content like Tenacious D and all that. But this really is sort of a new type of performance for him, because yeah, like he's either doing straight up serious like in King Kong, or he's doing a wacky comedy like pretty much every other movie he's been in. Like he was just in Jumanji earlier this year, I think at the end of last year.
I remember that.
But this movie is like, it's such a good blend of like the serious sorcerer warlock guy, but he's also playing it up to a point where it's comedic too. So it was an interesting, I think, new career turn for Jack Black, and I really enjoyed him in this semi-serious, sort of campy, hamming it up performance.
There were some weird points where it was like, oh, these dolls are so creepy. Did you know they're so creepy? What's up with that one? But yeah, pretty cool overall.
Well, in terms of the creepy level of the movie, I think the big thing that most people are taking away from it is that the movie is some sort of it's like a gateway horror film for children. It's because it's a PG movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's a PG movie, but there were some things in this movie that I thought were a little too scary for like a kids movie. Like it really reminded me of like the Never-Ending Story and those old classically, 80s and 90s movies that were for kids, but they had a bunch of fucked up shit in them. And then it seems these days, like horror movies for kids are so watered down and boring that you wouldn't get any, frights or fears whatsoever. But this movie was fucking creepy a lot.
Oh, what other horror movies for kids are there that you don't
Oh
like
man.
that way?
Well, speaking of Jack Black, he was just in that Goosebumps movie a few years ago. I think that was just a
I didn't
huge
see
joke.
that one.
Yeah, I mean, like horror stuff for kids is so lame these days. And
Well, Goosebumps especially. Yeah, that sounds horrible.
yes, oh man, my skin is crawling because there's the kid's wearing a half hockey mask. Scary. Fuck off.
Damn,
Fucking
the
stupid.
real Jason.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, his name was actually Jason too. Tragic.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta grow up sometime.
No,
It's just a real
What do
young
you think
Jason,
about
right?
this, Florian? Do you think if you wanted to introduce your child, because we both know that you are an expert on raising kids as a single man living alone, who will probably never have kids, I assume. Do you want to have kids, Florian?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I didn't mean
Imagine
either.
that.
But do you
I,
think
I,
if you wanted to
I,
introduce your kid to the horror genre, you probably wouldn't want to throw like Alien at them? Like, would this be a good movie to start them off with?
yeah, I guess that would be good. Man, Alien, I don't know. Would they be bored or would they be scared?
That has some scary shit in it for a kid.
I know, it builds up so slowly. I
Yeah.
mean, they probably be asleep by the time the alien shows up.
Yeah, this movie, if anything, the pacing is a little too fast. Like when they finally get to the plot of, and I guess minor spoilers, even though I think it's in the description of the movie, they get into the plot of the kid uses necromancy to bring back the evil wizard because he got tricked. All that stuff seemed like the movie was in fast forward once they hit that point. Everything up to it was like normal pacing, and then it was like, and then we're at the end, and suddenly like the bad guy and his evil wife are like up in some weird tower, and they're like laughing in front of a green screen, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like 1 second ago they were down inside a clock. It's going so fast all of a sudden.
Yeah, that bad kid just went straight for the Necronomicon right away. What the hell?
Yeah.
He was so immediately bored with this crazy house.
Yeah,
Wow.
this kid just found out an hour ago that magic and wizards are real, and he gets bored with it immediately.
Well, he didn't actually see any evidence for it, but still, that was just weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe he saw like what'd you think of the couch that was like a dog?
Yeah, that was pretty cute, but that one didn't show up, so he didn't see that one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if he saw it or not.
At that point, I think he was just well. Imagine how he would have loved that couch. He couldn't have seen it.
Uh,
Imagine if you saw that weird couch like that.
yeah. What did you think of where the story went? Because you have, the orphaned kid who knows nothing of magic, who moves in with his uncle Jack Black and finds out he's a wizard, and then he teaches him wizard stuff, and then immediately there's a big climactic fight with an evil wizard, and then it's over. Like, is that what you wanted, or do you think the movie should have done something else? Because it is based off of a book, but maybe they could have pulled from maybe different
Well, I
stories.
like that it moved fast because God, imagine if it was like Harry Potter and it was like 7 parts and then they fight the bad guy in the end and oh my God. I don't know. I think it's good that it moved fast. Did you think it should have not had a climax or well,
I think where the story went was overall kind of lame in terms of it was too easy to stop the bad guy. Like it's really cool how he's tricked to bring the evil bad wizard back to life, and then like his wife was the neighbor in disguise, and like they were really creepy and lots of cool creepy visuals, and like they have the evil master plan, and they have them all tied up, and they're hanging the kid in a cage over swords, like all this cool stuff. But then they like resolve it in about 5 minutes when they're inside a giant clock mechanism, and then the kid drops his fucking magic 8 ball, and somehow that like just dropping any hard object into the mechanism of the machinery destroyed
uh,
the entire master plan. I thought it was fucking lame as hell. I wanted something
well,
more. Like
well,
he didn't even
I
use really like he spends the whole movie learning all these wizard tools and magic tricks, but then he uses like the one where he can move electrical current, and like that stops the whole thing. How can a 10-year-old apprentice level wizard stop like the most evil powerful wizard without even like confronting him? I thought it was bullshit.
well, I mean, he didn't complete. The wizard didn't attack him. He could have easily killed him. He just wanted to try to get him for his, I guess, as some kind of adopted child. So I guess he let his guard down a little bit, and he didn't think that the kid would do anything.
It's
And
just
I don't
not.
know, did
It's
it
not.
work because the 8 ball was magic, or would anything have
Oh,
worked?
if he would have dropped anything into the thing, it would have stopped it because it just like the
You
gears got stuck
think?
on it. I think
But
it,
it's magic.
the
He
ending
could
should
have
have
just
been.
crushed it.
It should have been much more clever. I think he should have had to use more of the skills that he picked up over the course of the movie because it was so anticlimactic for me that I was like, oh well, I guess it's over now. That took about 5 minutes.
How long was the entire movie?
I think it was like around 100 minutes or so.
Oh, only. Damn.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt long, the whole movie, so I assumed that it would end eventually, but
You
I
assumed
guess
it
they.
would end eventually? You're like,
Well, I
man,
would.
what am I
I
watching?
would.
Never ending story? This thing's never gonna end.
Well, I assumed that the ending was coming close, so they would surely have some kind of resolution at that point. But yeah, I guess they could have done more with the magic.
Well, evidently, there's like this is like the first in a series of 5 books, so maybe this will be, the next Harry Potter. Surely not as popular, mind you, but hopefully the next book, if they do the next movie, which this movie's kind of a big hit, so they probably will. Hopefully, it has a like a better resolution to the plot, something a little more exciting and not just fucking lame.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking of Harry Potter and how they traveled back in time with that retarded Deus Ex Machina necklace and then saved everyone. I don't know if that was so much better.
Well, but
But
that was like the whole. Once they start going back in time to fix everything in Harry Potter 3, like that climax, it's like 45 minutes of straight climax. And I mean, I'm really partial to time travel stuff. So like seeing them go through all the events of the first half of the movie, was really cool to me. And like even the first Harry Potter, which is what I would, more closely compare this to, like the normal kid who finds out he can do magic. Like the climax of that movie, there's way more the characters using the skills that they picked up over the course of the year at school. Like you got Ron really, using his wizard chess skills to do the shit, and he makes a sacrifice because
oh,
he
yeah.
learned how to be like a good friend. You got Harry flying around on the broomstick and shit. I don't even remember what Hermione did. What the fuck did she do? She like taught them not to fall in quicksand or something.
Well, she remembered all the spells at least.
Yeah, like
Well,
they like you build up when you have a movie where the vast majority is teaching somebody stuff and then they have to use the skills to win at the end. I really want to see more than of that kind of stuff than just, oh, I remembered one spell over the course of the year of shit that I learned.
but didn't they like actually lead the bad guy to the treasure by doing all those trials? Am I remembering that wrong?
They No, the
In
bad guy
Harry
knew where the
Potter.
treasure was because he's the one who hid the clock in the walls.
No, I mean in Harry Potter with the Philosopher's
Oh,
Stone.
I don't
They,
remember that at all.
yeah, I don't know if that was them stopping the thing or if they've just got fooled by the evil guy all along. And then they just had a showdown for like 5 minutes and that was it.
Well, at
Hmm.
least like as soon as they I think the climax of Harry Potter 1 starts as soon as they find the three-headed fluffy, Cerberus thing or whatever. It
Oh,
goes
yeah.
on for like half an hour of all this cool action and using their skills. This
Yeah,
movie,
but
it's
there was
literally like
action
five
in this.
minutes.
No, there was action in this one. They fought pumpkins, they fought the lion thingy, but I guess they got away. But then there were puppets, and no, there was more than
Well, I'm
five
talking
minutes of
about
finale.
well, I was talking about like the direct conflict, like how they
But
defeat the
wasn't
bad
that
guy.
right before that?
What?
Wh- Where they have to fight back into the house? Wasn't that right before the finale?
Well, yeah,
Or
that was more like Jack Black, but I mean, you probably have a point there, but there's not really much, honing your skills and using them when it's just, oh, let's stomp on a pumpkin. For it's like okay, move on.
yeah, they didn't even train for that at all. They
Yeah,
did no martial arts. Hmm.
but I
I guess
probably
they didn't
sound like
even blow it up.
I probably sound like a bit of a negative Nancy, just harping on this one point for half an hour. But overall, I really did enjoy the movie. I thought it would, if I had a kid, which I never will, and I wanted to like around Halloween time, I want to show them like a cool modern day horror movie for kids that they would not be bored with and that I wouldn't think is really lame. I would definitely like this would be the first one I would show them. Like, this is the best. This is Kino in that
Wow, the
regard.
first one.
This is modern day horror for children Kino, in my opinion.
So would you show them this over Harry Potter as well, or is
Well,
that
Harry Potter's
just
not a horror
is
film.
I don't know, man. The Dementor stuff, that's about on the same level. Well, I guess that's not in the first movie, but then
Yeah.
I guess the first one's pretty harmless.
No kid wants to watch 12 hours of movies, okay? They want to watch Jack Black ham it up for 100 minutes. There's no time to show
Wow.
them Harry Potter. Too long. They got shit
Yeah,
to
I
do.
guess.
They
That's
got
why they
they got
had to
Jake Paul
cut it
videos to
into two
watch.
pieces. Wow.
Yeah. What are your
So you're going on outside? Weird.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, good.
Okay, now I do. What are your final thoughts on the movie? You have any other points?
Jeez, I can't focus with this beeping. All right, let's see. Yeah, I guess it's. I don't know about. Yeah, I guess it's pretty horror based. So I guess you're right on that one. Hmm. Yeah, I think it's probably one of my favorite children's movies this year. Well, I guess the only one I saw recently was Captain Underpants, but yeah, that's it's definitely good. Jack Black was all right. Generally, pretty good movie.
Even the kid actor, like kid actors usually piss me off, but kid actor wasn't that bad in this movie.
Oh, that bad kid was pretty annoying though.
Well, yeah, I mean the main kid.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the bad kid had I don't know if he had like anger management issues, but he had some really weird dialogue moments and like he's so quick to anger about all this shit. Like the scene when they're at the baseball field and they're on different sides of the fence and like the kid gets like fucking pissed out of nowhere and it was really funny to me.
It's so weird how he was like completely friendly at first, just because he was like injured, and then he immediately lost interest in the guy that he just befriended, so he could go back to his jock buddies.
Oh yeah,
Why
that
didn't
was.
he
I
just?
think what they said was the kid was running for class president, and
Oh yeah.
his strategy was to become best friends with every single kid in school to get their vote, and then after he won, he wouldn't be their friend anymore. But he invested a lot of
Yeah, that
fucking
could be
time
why.
becoming friends with this main character kid just to get one vote. Like they're hanging out after school for hours and shit. That's a terrible strategy.
Like, he does that with every student. How does
Yeah.
he do it?
Maybe he's the true wizard and he has like the
Yeah.
Hermione time thing and you can go back in time to hang out with every kid after school.
Yeah, just so he could be class president. Amazing. And then he can finally put Kool-Aid in the water fountain, just like he always wanted. Man.
Oh, that reminds me of I guess at the end of the movie the what was the main character's name? Was it Maxwell or was that the name of Jack Black? I can't remember.
Damn, sorry, I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Let's just say his name is Maxwell for the sake of speaking. But
All right.
there are two scenes with I think like was she a little Asian girl who's drawing pictures of spiders in her book? I don't think she was some little minority. I don't know if she was white or what. Do you remember? Was she Asian?
I think he might have been half black.
Oh, okay. Well, Jack Black. Maybe she was half Jack Black.
Damn.
But
Oh my god.
there's like one scene where she's drawing pictures of spiders and says to the main character, "You shouldn't be friends with them. You should be friends with me." And the main character says, "Fuck you, bitch, you little mulatto bitch. Fuck that shit." And he walks away. And then at the very end, like he realizes, I guess, after stopping the Necronomicon zombie monster man, that he doesn't want to be friends with the normal kids. And then he goes and sits next to the girl, and I'm like, well, that wasn't earned. We saw this character for 1 minute. Like, were there deleted scenes with her? Because they're acting like this is a major moment, but we don't even fucking know this bitch's name. What the hell?
Yeah, and the way he just told her to fuck off was so crazy
It
as
was
well.
fucking hilarious. That was really funny.
Then she just forgives him. Amazing.
Yeah, and she's
Yep.
like doodling him in her book and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of creepy for a
Well,
10-year-old.
guess he really had a crush. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that's normal, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I guess no girl ever drew me in her notebook, Florian. Not everybody's a Chad like you. Not everybody has that Chad
No, maybe,
experience.
maybe you just don't know about it. Hmm.
Oh,
She
well.
was waiting all this time for you to come over, but you were
Oh,
just so
man.
busy.
I had my own Hinata and I never found her. That's too bad.
Damn. You could have been happily ever after.
I think before we end, we should discuss the director of this movie, Florian. Do you know who directed this movie?
No, who is it?
Uh, did you see the Bruce Willis Death Wish movie that came out this year?
I've been meaning to see it, but no.
Well, it was Eli Roth who directed that, and he also directed this, which is very surprising because I don't think he's ever done a kid or family focused movie before. He's done like Hostel, Hostel 2, just these gory, offensive films,
Wow.
and like the Death Wish one. So this is like a complete turn of pace, like a complete career about face for him, and it's this might be my favorite movie by him, almost definitely. So that's very strange to me.
Well, let's hope those kids don't look him up and watch Hostel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. How come like because like James Gunn started off making really edgy, offensive movies, and then now he makes all those family Marvel movies, and then they like find out that he had a dark past, and they said, "Nope, no, you're fired," as if they couldn't just look up his IMDb page. But now Eli Roth seems to be doing a similar thing. Do you think when Clock with a House in Its Walls 3 comes out, they're gonna find out he made Death Wish and fire him because the movie came out at a bad time?
Wow. Yeah, that must be it. It surely wasn't the tweets, right? It was just the movies that James Gunn did.
Well, I mean, the movies came out around the same time and had the same
Oh.
tone as the tweets, I think. I mean, it's just him being like an edgy guy, because I mean, what, do you think that Disney was right to fire James Gunn?
Oh no, but
Yeah.
I guess you can't get fired for movies, but you can get fired for Twitter and Facebook posts because Dan Harmon did that thing where he raped that baby doll, and that didn't get him fired,
Well, I mean, I
even
mean
though
that
it was
was kind of
hilarious.
funny. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
very, yeah.
yeah, was it like he's raping baby Hitler or something like that? Like, or like,
Did you see it?
I don't remember what the plot was, but I did see the
Oh man,
him crawling in the window to fuck the baby.
well, it was a parody of Dexter because Dexter is like an asshole who wants to kill people, but then he justifies it by saying he kills bad people. So he was a baby rapist who justifies it by saying he rapes bad babies, and he says these babies they will grow up to be serial killers unless he rapes them. It's the only way he could save them.
Was he a
So it
time
was,
traveler, or was he making this assumption?
well, he was with a baby psychologist, so he knew exactly what would happen.
That's actually really funny.
I know,
Yeah, that's
it
good.
was hilarious. Oh man.
Are you familiar with the actor Ashton Kutcher?
Ah, no, but
Uh,
it seems familiar.
um, I recently rewatched a movie he was in like 2004 called The Butterfly Effect. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but
I have, yeah.
uh,
Is that him, the main
yeah,
character?
yeah, he's Evan, I think the name was. And I thought, I really liked that movie as a kid, and I thought, okay, there's no way this holds up. I bet it's horrible. And I watched it again the other day, and I love it even more now than ever before because of how just straight up edgy and crazy that movie is.
Wow.
But there's a scene where Ashton Kutcher is in prison and he's trying to get in with the white supremacists. And he says, like, I don't want to be friends with those niggers and spics. And I'm like, whoa! Whoa! And I never thought I would hear Ashton Kutcher say the word nigger. And I was like, oh, holy shit. And then, like, you think of, like, Quentin Tarantino where he has the whole, like, dead nigger storage thing. And I'm like, all these actors who have careers these days, and Ashton Kutcher, I think, still does, like, sometimes family stuff. Like, in a movie, yeah, like you said, you could say nigger all you want and it's fine because it was in a movie.
Yeah,
But if
in
he
the movie you
posted,
can get away with it.
but like, if, like Quentin Tarantino wrote that, if he posted a similar joke on Twitter or Facebook, then he would get fired. It's fucking bullshit to me.
If the writing gets leaked, he gets fired. But if it's in the movie, it's fine.
It's like, how come I'm
That's
allowed
hilarious.
I'm allowed to be satirical in a film, but I'm not allowed to be satirical on social media? What the fuck?
Well, I suppose you can probably do it in a book as well. So
Well, I would hope
yeah,
so, because
social
I wrote some
media.
pretty fucked up shit in my books.
Well, you don't hold back here either, so you're probably
Yeah.
gonna be ruined anyways when you go into public office or become a director for Disney.
Yeah, I guess I'm blacklisted from Disney now.
Unless you just embrace it like Trump.
It just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It really irks me that, like, people can't accept that everything somebody posts to social media for some reason has to be their authentic self. And, like, there's no context
Oh
of I
man.
was telling a joke or I was, like, being satirical. Like, if your name is on it, you're not allowed to be funny, I guess. Like, everything you write has to absolutely be the genuine you, and nobody will accept any other explanation. Like, it's bullshit to me.
Oh yeah, that is completely unacceptable because it's just so crazy. You could so easily just get drunk and write whatever, but it's gonna stay up forever because he doesn't know that you're drunk. But if you commit the crime while you're drunk, it's not a problem anyway. So why doesn't it have that standard?
Wait,
That's
wait,
crazy.
you can commit crimes while you're drunk in Austria?
Well, no, but I think it gets I guess you get a reduced sentence if you.
Really?
I think.
That's not a thing here. If anything, if you're like drunk driving, you get thrown in prison forever.
Well, driving, yeah, but not.
Well, yeah.
I think if you kill someone in a bar fight, it's less bad than if you kill someone while you're sober.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not even gonna approach it from the idea of I was drunk and posted something
I mean, it shouldn't be a
offensive.
crime anyways
Well,
to say
yeah.
something, but the thing is that you can just. I mean, you can take it in too many ways, and just text alone doesn't convey the intent well enough. So you should really never be judging anything like that unless it's like specified in which way it's meant.
I think people just have to be honest with themselves. And when you read something absurd on the internet, you got to think, now, what I just read is completely fucking crazy and retarded. Do I think, A, that the person who wrote it is genuinely, enthusiastically crazy and retarded? Or B, do I think maybe there's like a level of comedy or satire or sarcasm here that that maybe I'm refusing to see because I want to go out of my way to be upset that somebody said something online.
Oh man, it's so crazy to even like if you make a joke and it's like a reference to something, then you'd always have to double check if it's not in some way offensive to someone because there's just so many possibilities and there's so many times where it's like jokes and I just don't get them because they're like a reference to something that's like very American or very foreign to me. And yeah, it's, it's totally it totally should never be taken seriously.
Yeah, I don't.
And
How did we get here? I
I
guess
know it's quite
I
quite a
forgot.
tangent.
We're not talking
Don't
about the
you,
movie anymore, but
don't you remember when he was under the bad spell and then he posted the N-word on Facebook? Did that not happen?
this movie took place in 1975.
Oh, did it? Damn.
It was either 65 or 75, I think. I don't remember.
I never know if they would adopt something like that into the future where it's got iPhones and stuff, or if they just keep the date it was written in.
Hmm.
Did they have any old-timey technology in this? I guess they had an old TV. Yeah, I guess it was rather old.
Yeah.
And
And
see,
yeah,
hmm?
that's all I had to say. I gotta go to the bathroom, so we should end this soon before I just shit all over my floor.
Yeah,
Before I shit all over my
subscribe before.
Florian.
Don't you shit on me.
Yeah. Are you and Erich going to review the Bill Burr H3 podcast on Erich's channel this week?
I don't know. You should be there because
No.
without you, it doesn't really make much sense that we're reviewing this thing that we don't really know much about. Do you even watch H3
No. I've
podcasts?
never watched an H3 video all the way through in my fucking life. I hate them.
Well, I hate them too, but they always have like interesting guests, so I watch it anyways.
I've never watched an episode of their podcast. I just watched half of the supercut of the most awkward moments, and I couldn't finish it, and I wanted you
Well,
guys to watch it
but
for
why
me.
would anyone be able to finish the supercut? That's disgusting. It doesn't even have full sentences.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm never going to appear on Erich's channel, so I can't do it for that reason. And
Damn.
for two, I
Well,
can't finish
we could do
watching
it on
it.
this channel if you
No,
insist.
I refuse to watch that full fucking podcast or the
I
supercut.
know. We'll just make Erich watch it, and then me and him will have to talk, and you can judge us.
He could tell us what happened, and we can react to it.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. Florian, where can people find you online?
Check out GameSquid on YouTube, everyone.
Alrighty,
Goodbye.
for Is It Kino, I've been Monkey Johnson.
And I'm Florian. Goodbye.